The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by USAA Insurance, auto, renters, and home insurance that's made to help the military community protect what they've worked hard for.
Hi everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Paris home series. Oh boy, it is a nice and joyous day. We are starting things off with the Toronto Ultra taking on the LA Guerrillas. I don't know exactly where we are virtually in Paris, but it looks absolutely excellent. Standy, how you feeling today, my friend?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, nice Friday to kick this off. We're going to have a great match to start. We got the champs coming in, which is the Toronto Ultra, and then LAG, who's got a fairly new roster. Money Cheen is back in the CDL. I'm excited to see this matchup.
Absolutely, man. Like you said, Money Cheen is heating up. I know Nameless was giving a lot of props to Assault as well. It's going to be great. But hey, like we said, we got to talk about the team that is currently on the tip of everyone's tongues. This roster is looking so solid as of late. Let's go ahead and meet him, the Toronto Ultra.
Try to get mad, everybody wanna keep up, don't you know I move too fast, I'ma zip right past, drip all on my swag, why you trying to size me up, you don't wanna try your luck, how does it stove, what did you know, burn like coal, yeah you know I go, way too hot, yeah I really too cold, I'ma keep going till I hit my goals, better get back when I'm in my zone, do it for the ones that I know back home, did it myself, they ain't put me on, don't you call back if you hear that tone, love the level.
And there you have it, your Toronto Ultra. I mean, what's that? A 6-series winning streak. They've won 9 maps in a row. They're a perfect 6-0 in maps so far. Just to kick off stage 3. What have you made of this Ultra eruption?
Man, they gotta be the best team in the game, man, without a doubt, bro. They took down the big dogs in FaZe at the major, and then ever since then, these guys have just been riding that train of just being dominant together. And the reason why, for me, is just because of their teamwork, man. All these guys are sitting over a 1.0, and the fact that all these players are just stepping up when they need to the most is really impressive for me, because obviously, to start the beginning of the year, they weren't the best team, but they worked on it, they got better, they made that change from Mentis to Insight, and ever since then, man, these guys are just taking off, man. They're the best team in the game, like Lottie and Nameless said throughout our HQ breakdown right off the rip of the day. But like I said, man, they're just really hard to top right now if you don't have your teamwork on point.
That's a great point. And I feel like, you know, there has been kind of that conversation as of late, right? About like, you know, are they the best team in the game? And I know with a few struggles, maybe as of late, people have kind of started to put them in that top spot. And I think it's well-deserved, without a doubt. But hey, we talk about teams that are kind of on the rise. Of course, you got to give all the props in the world to the Toronto Ultra, but a team that's kind of catching a few of our eyes as of late is the team that sits on the other side. Go ahead and put your hands together for the LA Guerrillas.
When my friends go, it was simple. When the ends low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike, I go hard day and night. Money on the line, keep calling. Money on the books, need all that. My kids, they'll be ballin'. Got a real bankroll, not for Instagram. My mama on the line, keep calling. Praying for me, know I need all that. Told me it's not about ballin'. Real blessed, but I'm still sinning, man. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike, I go hard day and night.
And there's a look at your LA Guerrillas. I mean, what's study? We take a look at this team. Obviously, they bring in Cheen in the series versus Paris just a few days ago. And boy, did he and the rest of the team perform in that series. A hot 3-0. What are you expecting out of the Guerrillas today?
Oh man, so out of that last 4 series, they're 3-1, and just I'm expecting greatness from the Guerrillas, man, because watching them versus Paris last week, they were really stepping up in those resawns, especially the assault rifle players. With Assault being the main AR, Cheen now being the flex, those guys are really working that 1-2 punch together. So hopefully they're able to keep that up today versus Insight and Cammy.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, the whole conversation was about Cheen, his performance, right? He goes for like a 1.38.
Yeah.
Little did we know, Assault just happened to have like a 1.5 in that series as well.
Yeah.
But as you called it, man, kind of their performance in their last 4, it's I don't want to say it's staggering, but it's impressive. Like the W's that they've had, it's definitely a sight to behold. Now let's go and take a look at our game fuel keys to victory for the team that we're talking about right now, the LA Guerrillas study.
Yeah, and like I said, man, the ARs need to have a big performance versus the defending champs. And in the series versus Paris, 1.58 for Assault, plus 26. And then Money Cheen, he's going to be a 1.36. And then only on raid control, offense needs to improve. They're going to be playing raid control today, which is not one of their strong, I mean, actually their strongest control map, but they only have 5 attacking round wins throughout the entire season. And that is just not something that you can go forward on if you want to try to take down that control. And then avoid Checkman and Garrison at all costs. To combine, I'm pretty sure they are 3 and 18 throughout all those game modes across the board for those 2 maps. So just completely get those guys out. But unfortunately, that map 4 is going to be Garrison Hardpoint. Yeah,
it is. We unfortunately will have to say it again. When you have a record like 3 and 18, there's definitely some work that needs to be done. But now our keys to victory here for the Toronto Ultra stud. We actually had a hard time trying to come up with some stats. Like, how do we really kind of improve this team? But what did we come up with?
It's hard, man, because like you said, man, these guys have been on fire. So just continue that control dominance. Currently, right now, they're on a 7-game win spree where they started from the beginning of the season where they were 2-11. They have went on and just completely dominated that game mode. And then keep up the great teamwork and comms in the Search and Destroy. 9-1 in their last 10 S&Ds, and a couple of those going up against Atlanta FaZe. So that's really good. You got to keep that up. And then Bance needs to continue to have that hot hand. I'm telling you, ever since stage 2, the guy's just been on fire. He's consistently shooting people in the back, playing his positioning perfectly, and this is really difficult to keep track of him, and hopefully he has that performance today.
Yeah, man. So when we talk about the Ultra, I feel like we obviously have to talk about Bance a majority of the time, his impact, what he can do around the map. But speaking of map, let's go and take a look at our map set coming into this one. We'll start things off on Apocalypse Hardpoint. We got Express Search and Destroy for game 2, Raid Control, Garrison Hardpoint, and if we can get down to it, a Miami Search and Destroy study as we take a quick little gander at the vetoes for that moment. Did you take anything away? Any major strong suits coming into this game 1 or really throughout the series?
It's the map 1 for me. This game 1 is everything on the side of LAG because I really like these maps for both teams. Yeah. The only thing is if it does get to that map 4, that map 5, then the Guerrillas, they need to really be able to fight back because like I said, horrible at Garrison Hardpoint. But if it does get to that Miami Search and Destroy, it's going to be great. But this map number 1 is everything to how this series is going to go for me. And
when we talk about both these teams, right, they faced off 2 times previously. It is a 1-1 series scoreline, Ultra winning the most recent, but really, in both series, each of them have gone to a Game 5 when these rosters have faced off. Big important note to mention is that Ultra are 4-0 in the hardpoint. So LAG, despite having 2 attempts at this Ultra lineup, have yet to win a hardpoint. Just another major emphasis on how important this opening is now here on Apocalypse as the Ultra grab at some early time.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to start there with Benjamin Bance getting a 3-piece, so you already know he's going to be feeling himself nice and early. So they're getting this early time on this P1 hardpoint. You see what LAG is trying to do. They're trying to all flood through Broken, trying to flip these spawns, and they're successfully going to be able to do so. So now it's all about just trying to not give up as much time on this P1 hardpoint to the Ultra, but also making sure that you're staying alive on that side of the map because the work has been done. You just don't want it to come back and blow up in your face if you lose these spawns here.
In the middle of the attack, what a quick little team fight. LAG, Force is still alive. So somewhat of a cross spawn for both of our teams. Assault wins a major fight there with the QBZ onto Cammy. Linux, unfortunately, he gets stuck as really body parts flying everywhere throughout Apocalypse, but it will be the flip successful for LAG despite a nice P1 off the rip for Toronto. This is the Guerrillas' chance to really kind of start to dig their heels in and even this one out. And Cheen starting off 5-2, continuing on his great performance from that last series study.
Yeah, and they just get a nice 4 down, so they eliminate all those players from the Ultra from that backside, so they're able to get at least a first 30 seconds uncontested. But you see what Ultra are trying to do. With 30 seconds remaining, they're just trying to play off the rotation. They know that if they die towards this hard point and spawn out towards back temple, it's not what they want to do. So they're going to give this full 60 to Gorilla. Great hold right there out of LAG to close out that one. Now it's all about just trying to set up this rotation towards that P3. And nice and early, Silly and Assault will be here.
I want to ask you, Stud, like now that we got to watch Apocalypse a little bit more, like teams kind of feel a little bit more comfortable playing this map. And the big emphasis is always on P2 as Assault sits on 7 in a row. I mean, like what, man? I feel like P2 isn't nearly as bad as it's kind of made out to be. As we see Guerrillas get the flip, and really off of that play, now Assault's sitting on 8 in a row. Do you think that P2 is as bad as people really kind of live it up to be?
Oh, it definitely is, man, because look, Ultra couldn't even break in to try to contest it for a second. So it's just depending on that team who gets there, that early setup. If they can hold that first push, it's basically a full 60. So that's why you saw Ultra rotate nice and early, trying to set up for this next one. But it's grown such a lead for LAG, so where they can take their time, make sure they're trying to play for these spawns a little bit better. But you see aBeZy, he's going to be flipping out towards the back, and just like that, they still are going to be able to keep those spawns.
They will indeed, and really... Again, off the back of some major plays coming through from Assault. Again, we don't really kind of highlight him as much as he deserves. We give the nice call out to Cheen, but Assault with that nice spree off the rip does earn the streaks, and that could play big for P4 and P5. But Cammy quickly there to silence things, as that will be a nice double to make sure that P4, aka Turtle, will be secure for them. So the bullets still firing well for the Ultra, and they're going to have to. As LAG quickly off the rip, they'll drop in the backside of the spawn, so that will give Ultra, now P5 spawns are sitting well inside of the hard point, but like we said, here come the streaks from above out of Adam Assault.
Yeah, so that's going to be able to get them off that time for a little bit, but Ultra should be able to get right back into it. But it's going to open up that positioning for the Guerrillas to push out towards the front with the streak coming in. The kill does go in their favor. Now they're eventually trying to get some time from the front side, but 3 players are going to drop now. 25 seconds remaining on this clock. You should see LAG start pushing through the middle of the map, trying to play for that P5, but it's looking like they're trying to push through. And this can come back to bite them if they cannot win these engagements.
Yep, some major fights going down, and you see 3 straight in the feed. Out of Toronto, starting to bring this one back after losing those first side of rotations. They lost the big P2, but now they maybe have gotten the game back in their hands. As now we'll go and step aside and listen in with the communication of the Toronto Ultra with our Astro listening.
Yeah, I'm running away.
Front.
That was me.
Okay, so I've got deep back.
Can you help me with front?
Yeah, I can help you.
One's gone back maps.
I'm on a 6, on a 6.
Okay, one was maps. FaZe in low PP.
I'm baiting you here, Toby. Try and push out for me, Toby.
Yeah, give me a sec. No.
All in front.
All here in front.
I've got all the back still.
Up steep on me, up steep there. 2 more deep.
Okay, yeah.
One.
Back me.
Back me.
I've got you front.
Top.
I've got you front unless you drop from top. I have the backdoor push.
One stop.
You got it,
ladder.
It's backdoor now.
Yeah, I'm on. Back.
I'm pushing you. Up front. Put 2 front weak.
Making up P3.
Ups 1 shot after that.
She's
Ups 1 shot.
absolute bro.
Fucking dead.
Come back, boys. Let's go. Good fucking comeback.
Gonna be top
this
of me.
time.
Trying to stay down low.
Hit through time.
I'll wait for you guys.
Yeah.
Down deep right.
Come down low, you, Toby.
It's gonna be top.
I can't
TV.
see him.
Nothing
Wait,
top.
Yeah, one down.
I'll come top.
Hit me top
Down low
map.
still.
I'm gonna top P5 right now.
On the side.
Toby.
Slide here. Close.
Top down, low dead.
Top TV.
Filling time.
One mid help right. One match.
Take our time. Let's take our time.
Wrap over.
Yeah, right.
One down low.
We're gonna top TV right now.
Yeah. I don't see anything top maps.
Down low here.
He is.
That's it.
Nice. I don't see if I'm heading close to one.
Across
top TV.
Nice, that's 2 dead. One's gonna be deep
Jump
top.
Really got a quick little listen in there with Toronto. Maybe some quieter comms. Not really much needed to be said, but really for the most part, Study Ultra, despite what was a one-sided affair to start this one off, they brought the game back, and now we're sitting in the driver's seat. Granted, not by a major margin, but it's impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, it was all about that chain from that P4 to P5. That's what was able to give them this lead going into the second rotation of hard points. But once again, they do not have those spawns towards that P2. So they have to try to push through this left side, try to get low trenches control. With LAG still picking up some time off of this P1. It's all about, can they break it this time around? Because we saw LAG, they held it for a full 60 the first go around. What can Toronto do different to try to set up on this pinch? And once again, it's looking like all these players are trying to push out towards back temple. First player here is going to be Bance. So he's going to take his time, wait for his teammates to get to him. But this is exactly how that push was shut down the first time. Here comes the flood. First blood is going to go in. That's going to be another 3 down for Toronto. And just like that, another push from Toronto is going to get shut down. And they have to give up this time once again on P2.
Yeah, another one forwarded. LAG continue to rain terror over at P2. I mean, what, man? Given the pushes, given the outlook that Toronto had based off map positioning, they had to make a play. Was that the right? I know hindsight's 2020, right? They dropped 3, but did you like the play? Did you like the attempt that they tried to make in order to retake P2?
Well, it was the first attempt that they tried to do on the very first rotation of hard points, and it got shut down. So I would like to see just a better push, a better coordination right there when you're pushing out the backside. Probably put someone to slide out, make sure he ends up being a little bit of bait there so you guys can get a kill. But the fact that this is the second time that they try to break through that backside, not opening up with any kills right there is really difficult for them. So now they find themselves in a 45-point hole. It's all about just trying to get some time off of this P3, but they did such a great job last time for P4 and P5. Can they do it again?
See what they can try to muster up. There's really a quick little team fight toward the bottom side of the lights, and it will be Cammy and co. staying alive. The nice long-range shots at a Cammy as he sits currently at 24 and 15. The 3-spree granted right now for him. It's a 5-spree as a team as LAG once again look to try and commit what will be the retake. It's aBeZy from the skies toward top TV. And he is a sight to behold. Can he shut down inside? A few extra shots there into the railing, but he is going to be able to win it, inching LAG ever closer to that 250 mark. A big play from him, but it is Toronto set up nice and well over at Turtle.
Yeah, so now they have to try to fight back into this game and try to hold this push from LAG because they're not hitting the front side. They're going to be pushing around the back, trying to flip these spawns. Those kills are going to get traded, but they're still silly in this backside. Do they have the awareness that he's still here? He's going to be the playmaker, but a streak is going to come in, so that's going to change the positioning from the Ultra players. All these guys are going to flood in towards that Tiki hut. Salt is able to get one, so now they should be able to get some time from the front side. 3 players are going to drop. The last one is going to be Cleanex. And he has to try to stay alive because a split spawn has come in for the Ultra. Eventually, 1 player is going to drop. There's only going to be Cammy left in his backside, and LAG. This is perfect for them because they cannot win off this. But with only 1 player remaining on the backside, they should be able to try to win this rotation. But Cammy's trying to play his life as long as he can.
You see Cammy, right? He's just trying to value what's most important to me. Try to break the hill. Okay, well, they can't win it here. Let's at least try to hold on and really just try to set up well for P5. Again, the great streak usage comes through from Assault. That will put them within 3 seconds of locking up this game 1. Again, as we discussed, LAG yet this season to beat Toronto in a hardpoint. 0-4 versus them on the season. But how can Ultra start to lock things down over at P5? Some good progress made to the middle side of the map, but aBeZy, the farthest pushed up player, as he will look to try and be a tour guide really for his teammates. Apocalypse, be a nice destination potentially, but again, this could be a victory here if Ultra can lock down every single second. It will be LAG that has to try to break on in, but that's 2 straight, make it 3 straight. The door slammed right in the face of the LAG boys as they are in desperate need of a rebound. Ultra now within just about 10 seconds. As can they make the break? It's Cammy from one side. The entire team set up well, but here comes Cleanex from the back. Assault tries to make somewhat of a stomping ground from the front, but it's Cleanex. It's Cleanex. It's in sight. Everybody shutting down the players of Guerrillas. And a 3-point win. A major comeback out of the Ultra to lock up Apocalypse.
Man, and that one hurts if you're LAG because you had 2 great holds on P2. You were only 3 seconds away from closing out that map number 1. You just couldn't set up a proper break to break towards that P5. Every single kill went in favor of the Ultra. Cleanex ended it out on a 5-spree, just turning and burning on kids. And that is great if you're the Ultra. These guys have heart. They never give up to the very end, man, and they close out that map number 1. That LAG, that one's gonna sting, man. You had 2 streaks. That P4 could have went definitely a couple more seconds into your favor, but man, Ultra, they are the champions for a reason, man. They clutch up at the end.
They are. And I tell you what, man, we actually got to take a quick little look back at that hard point. The way that that one ends out is crazy. I know we'll try to break things down a little bit more. So what, at this point, it's 215 to 247. A major differential. We're talking about LAG, right? Just try to at least contest the time, try to break on in. You just need 3 more seconds, but this was really the play, the opportunity for Guerrillas and Study. They couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, they just couldn't, man. They held the line right there for the Ultra, and then they only set up 1 more push for the Guerrillas to try to break in. This is the last attempt that they have, and the closest pushed up player is going to be Chino, but he decides to back up, play with his teammates a little better. But at this point, it's panic time. You have to try to get into that hard point, try to contest it a little bit, and force it to go towards that P1. But they were able to get 1. Eventually, kills go back and forth. But once again, Cleanex, he goes huge in the hill. That's going to be the 3rd, and there goes the 4th onto aBeZy. He was just trying to play the trade right there, but Ultra with a great hold to close out that hard point.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, Ultra, they're hyped. They just continue to do it, extending their map streak and claiming map 1 as theirs. When we come back, though, it is Search and Destroy on Express. Stay with us.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. The Call of Duty League is presented by Zenni, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting zenni.com/gaming.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Call of Duty League. I tell you what, man, we gotta focus in on this Toronto team. His Vance, he's quiet, he's sitting nicely coming into Search and Destroy. Don't worry, he's not asleep. In fact, he is firmly awake. This team has awoken really steady since that loss at the Major to Atlanta. Since that time, they are 6-0 in matches. I mean, in what? As we look down the list, the stats, they speak for themselves, buddy.
Man, just looking at this 6-0 map count, games 21-5. They've only lost 5 different maps. They've only lost 5 maps. They lost 4 hard points, 1 Search and Destroy, undefeated in control. I'm telling you, this team is just on fire, man. Consistent gameplay from across the board, top to bottom. This team is on point, man. And look at that. Even in that map number 1, they were even down by 50 points going into it. They need a perfect 60 to close out the game, and they get the job done, man. They had that composure within this team.
They did, man. They got that special sauce, as Miles likes to call it, but now we kind of focus our attention with our quick scope presented by Scump. Now into the Search and Destroy. I mean, from the LAG side, we talk about the respawns, not normally going to be favored, but Search and Destroy, it's been good for them, right? 12-7, that is the second highest CDL record right now. And man, we talk about Express Search and Destroy. This at times has been good for both of these teams. I mean, I was going to go out there and say it. I mean, how do you feel about Guerrillas' chances after losing a close hard point like that? They do have a new player in Sheen in the lineup, but how do you think they fare off on a map like Express?
On a map like Express, well, for both of these teams, they do have underneath their belt that they have 6-0 Atlanta FaZe on this map. So both of these guys really enjoyed this, and I'm pretty sure we have our top Search and Destroy team going up against our 3rd overall Search and Destroy team. So both of these guys are really good at this game mode specifically. Now it's all about what adjustments can these guys make, because LAD, they do such a great job of just setting up those team pushes. They work nice and slow, making sure that everything is technically what they want it to be. And on the opposite side, you have Ultra, where Bance and Kleenex, they're usually that playmaker. If they decide to go towards A, they hold down low lockers a lot. It's just going to be really difficult to fight these guys. Both of these guys are really good at this map. This is going to be a banger.
It is. It's going to be fun. Like you said, the 2nd and 3rd best Search and Destroy team in the game right now. We'll see how things fare off as we'll look through the eyes of good old Benjamin Bance. The objective in his hands is to look to plant the bomb quickly at A. For LAG, but a 3-1 split for them. Swing and a miss, but that miss could, in fact, turn in do a nice rotation as Vance hunting through the middle. Does fire away. Can he find the kill? Does manage to shut down aBeZy. On the other side, Insight falls. So a current 3 versus 3 as the retake looks to be attempted right now out of the Guerrillas. Again, they swung and missed over at B, but now it has turned into a 3-man hit on the flank as Cellium looks to try to make the recovery. He finds one toward top. And really with 15 seconds left, somebody's going to make it the play at the bomb quickly. Vance falls. A successful retake and a successful defuse coming through from LAG.
Yeah, that one got a little scary for me from LAG, but they decided to send 3 towards the flank. aBeZy was the only player left on their side of the spawn. He eventually dropped, but just the positioning, the aggression from all 3 of those players that were pushing the backside, they were eventually able to get those trades in their favor, turn it into a 3v2. Cellium wins a big gunfight towards that top ticket booth. Eventually turns it into a 3v1. It could have got scary if aBeZy didn't win that gunfight because the clock was not on their favor. They had to get someone on that defuse, but they get the job done, man. Good round right there out of LAG.
Yeah, solid round out of this team. And teams just, I mean, I guess maybe we'll just kind of forget how good this team is at their coordination. I know that at times the record, sometimes they come out slow with that search and destroy. It has been their backbone, as we like to call it, as Vance quickly eyeing on a few players toward the train. Well, he's not going to be able to find a single one, as CleanX, the SMG duo, is able to drop one for the moment, but the quick trade assault continues on as he is now 4 in a row. aBeZy for the plant. 1v2 for Insight, and really, if you are the Ultra, this is probably the one guy that you want to be alive in this situation, Study.
Definitely want Insight to be alive in this 2v1 situation. Now it's all about what can he figure out, what kind of information can he gain. With the clock ticking, aBeZy's going back and forth from low lockers, but he might have just got good timing. Is he going to check his corner? Yes, he does, so it turned it into a 1v1, and he has the info that assault is going to be towards top window, but he has to be aggressive with 15 seconds left. He's going to jump, make some noise, and he's going to catch him off guard, but Assault is going to walk away with the engagement, picks up that 74U to win that close-up battle. Just like that, LAG go up 2-0.
I thought that was such a great read. I thought it was a great read on the inside. You could just tell like where the mind was going. You could hear the steps out of Assault, but not able to take him down. Is really to start off the search and destroy. Assault sitting at 5-0 just through 2 rounds. And I know we've talked about kind of coming into this series, buddy, about how both these teams, they faced off before. And in their most recent engagement, which was quite a bit ago, we actually saw Express Search and Destroy, and it was LAG winning this Express S&D 6 rounds to 2. So, again, they played in this map, they played in this situation. It was LAG that got the dub. And Ultra, how can you begin to adapt as you drop the first 2? Nobody really sitting on anything somewhat stellar in terms of performance. Once again, in Vance flying that objective over at A, as we'll see if LAG can once again retake.
Yeah, this is a little different this time, though. They don't have 3 players pushing towards the flank, but Assault's able to open up at the first, aBeZy with the second, so now it's going to be a 4v2. If I'm LAG, I'm just putting someone straight on bomb right now. I'm not even trying to locate anybody else, but CleanX is able to take down one and try to get out with his life, but it turns into a 3v1 situation now. And Insight's in a great position to try to eliminate these players, but aBeZy is going to read it, and just like that, LAG complete another retake onto this A site, puts them up 3-0.
Really? I mean, with this defuse, going to set Assault up quite nicely. A great beginning out of LAG, 3 straight rounds, and it's just really the all-out dominance toward this bomb site, my friend. I mean, what have you liked the most out of the Guerrillas? What have they done right to silence what is a hot team in Search and Destroy in the Ultra?
I just love these team pushes that they're doing. When they're being aggressive, they have multiple players there, so they're overflooding a player that's trying to watch that position. He has to shoot at multiple people, and then just winning that engagement every single time. They're just taking the map right now to the Ultra. The Ultra have not had a response yet. They have that consistency on their defense where they're taking control of B. Once they get that, they're wrapping back together as a unit. So far, LAG, their teamwork is on point.
And so is Assault, man. I mean, we're talking about players that are on point. Assault 6-0. And not talk enough about this guy. His performance as of late has been unbelievable. But here we go quickly into our 4th round as LAG looks to start things off. Not dropping a single thing. Assault aware of CleanX's position. Thankfully for CleanX, he does have Vance just toward his side. Did you notice Toronto not taking any unnecessary engagements, right? They're playing things slow, trying to make LAG work for every single bit of map control that they want to find. His utility still coming around, 40 seconds left. You just talk about how quickly these gun engagements can start to come through, but Apathy, he stays alive on the ladder. Regardless of that, Assault tries to come in for the bait and switch, but it's the SMG duo from Toronto locking things down. Insight from the back. Cellium at least able to find one, but it's a consolation kill at best as Ultra finally get on the board.
Yeah, great two-man job right there out of Clayster and Bench. Just stay alive the entire time. LAG knew that there were multiple players in towards this top control room, but they just couldn't get up. They were trying to set up that pinch perfectly, but both engagements go in favor of the Ultra, so they turn it into a 2v4, and then eventually Insight picks up one, and eventually the last kill is traded. So big round right there out of Clayster and Bench to just stay alive with all that noise that was being around them in that situation. They get the job done and secure that round.
And to secure the round, they also secure the fact that Assault, I don't believe, did earn the streak. So I don't think he found like an assist or anything like that. So Assault stay at 6-1. That could have been a major benefit for LAG. What, you go up 4-0, you got the streaks. You like their chances close out this search and destroy, as we already would have been thinking about that control. But a major sequence there out of Ultra. As now we'll look at what their attack seems to be here. In the midst of this going on, keep in mind, player 2 in Assault, slowly but surely starting to make that flank attempt. Trying to be the eyes and ears over at that B bomb site. But so far for Ultra, we talked about them on Moscow, how often they like to rotate. It does not seem to be the case so far, Study, as they seem to be primed over at A.
Yeah, they just caught LAG off guard right there, thinking that they were going to rotate, but Silly's able to even up the numbers, turn it into a 3v3. Clean Money Cheen is able to get that kill onto Ban, so that's going to be bombed down. And then here comes Assault. Finally, off the pinch, is going to take down Cammy, turns it into a 3v1 for Clayster. With 15 seconds remaining, he's eventually going to drop, and LAG secure another defensive round. That's 3 defensive rounds right now going in favor of LAG. They're dominating right now, man. They're doing their thing when it comes to that teamwork. They're setting it up perfectly. They're not being impatient. It looked like they were in the beginning of that round right there with aBeZy trying to rotate towards that mid-train, but like I said, Silly was in the position to get that trade, and now they find themselves up 4-1, 2 rounds away from closing this out. They've just been playing great S&D so far, and Toronto have not had an answer yet.
Yeah, man. Great search and destroy versus a great search and destroy team. Like we said, Toronto 9-1 in their last 10 S&Ds. And quite a few of those victories have, in fact, come on Express. So LAG just finding the right timing. As we said, kind of limiting that aggression that Ultra likes to show from time to time. But we've been getting a lot of love at A. Now time to go to B. And with that early push, it will be Silly who drops for the first blood. Regardless of that, Assault able to drop in that objective. So we will have a retake opportunity here for Toronto. Quite a bit of time on the clock, and Cammy finding a nice kill through the mid-trains. Takes down App. As it's now left down to the ARs. As Gene, he gets found out. Assault, granted, a great game, a great performance, and we'll probably see that continue, but in a 1 versus 3 where there is just time ticking away and the opposing team just has full control over that site, it's never going to be easy. As Clayster will put in the defuse, and Ultra, they stay alive in the swing round, Stud.
Yeah, and that was huge right there out of the Ultra, because there was only one player at that B site, which was Clayster. Guerrillas decided to hit through that side staircase area. They put 3 players down there, and then Clayster, he comes out, gets the first blood, and gets out with his life. So they take that man advantage. They get the information that LAG are pushing towards that bomb site. Eventually, they set up the pinch. Went all the engagement on their side, and Ultra, just a great defensive hold right there. Big shout out to Clayster, opening up with that first blood and playing his life. Now, what adjustments can they make on offense? So far, the A push has not been working. I need them to switch it up. I need them to go B and try to be aggressive to show them why we are the champions. But it's looking like their A push is once again going to come in. So the Bench likes to get this bomb down nice and quick. And with all that information going down, here goes the bomb, and it's going to be another 4v4 retake out of LAG.
Yeah. Third plan of the game for Bance. I think based off the arrows, as Cammy finds the first blood, you can see LAG just being like, wait, really? They're gonna go for it again? Like, they're gonna continue to play at A? The mind game's in full effect, as nobody yet to drop. So far for Toronto, that streak only continues, as it is all down to Money Cheen, between a rock and a hard place, the train as well, causing quite a bit of space. And speaking of space, Ultra inching ever closer, but was a great beginning out of the Guerrillas. But no Study, you said on Ultra, out of the offenses, you want to see them kind of change things up. They go back to it, they catch LAG off guard, and they're able to secure the round. A big one again out of Toronto as Cleanx leading the way. We talked about streaks, what right now as a team, they are sitting nice at 7-team streak. See if they can continue to add on to this. We come into our next round. LAG, quick, hot and heavy into the B site. And it is Cleanx advance yet again causing problems. It's Assault able to answer. Cheen from the top. The SMGs from one side. It's the ARs from the other.
Yeah, and they have them pretty much pinned. They know exactly where both players from LAG are. They turn it from a 4v2 into a 2v2. So what can they try to do? Cammy's able to take down Assault. Now it's all left up to Money Cheen in a 1v2. He's able to take down the first. Gotta play your life. You gotta play your life, throw your shoulders. Money Cheen trying to go for the clutch, but unfortunately he's gonna lose it to Cammy. Cammy going huge to tie the game up at 4 apiece. LAG try to switch up that momentum. Try to change that pace of the game by sending 4 players down towards that B site. But Toronto, perfect blind counter right there to tie this game all up.
Oh man, so close. It's talking about like highlight moments kind of previously on Express Search Destroy, right? The ring around the Rosie with Crim, and kind of a similar situation. Unfortunately for Chi, not able to walk away with the 1v2. But again, on the other side, it's just Toronto. Kind of similar story to the hard point. Granted, this game by no means is over and could be far from over if we do see at around 11 overtime, but making the comeback, right? Comeback Kings. After what has been a hard countering LAG lineup, what are you seeing coming into this round 9 stud?
And look at this adjustment. Right now, LAG said, dude, they have gone A every single round. We are not going to stack B this time. But Toronto, they timed it perfect. They have full control of this B site. Bomb should be planted now, so it's going to be a 4v4 retake on towards this B site. Now let's see what LAG are going to decide to try to do. How are they going to try to break in towards this bomb site? It's looking like they're going to have 2 players pushing through their back terminal. It's all about what information can they try to get. Both players just throwing shoulders, but Cammy, once again, is going to open up with that first blood.
Into the streak to 4 in a row. Vance as well, starting to heat up as, Assault able to find it. It at least gives LAG another chance, but inside up close, he falls as well. They'll all be on to Apathy, and he's going to have to sprint to this bomb. 10 seconds to go for the defuse. 2 players alive, and it will be the Ultra. Now securing their 3rd round in a row, putting them on 5-4. And my goodness, what a game it has been. What a series it has been. And we're only coming into a closing finish here in the Search and Destroy. But what a performance as now Ultra 1 round away. But what do we expect out of LAG? What do you want to see them do here on this offense to stay alive?
Another 4-man push, and this is exactly what they're going to be able to do towards that B site. First thing, you cannot get first blooded. You need to try to open up with that kill, and it's looking like they're going to try to take nice control of bottom side, and they're able to take down 2, so it turns immediately into a 4v2. They know that Cleanx likes to play around towards Ticket Booth, but they have no idea where Cammy is. I'm pretty sure Cammy is on a streak. 2 away from trying to pick up some kill streaks, but unfortunately he's going to get dropped. All left up to Cleanx, and just like that, we got a round 11.
Oh, a round 11 indeed, baby. Like we said, LAG, they go over toward this bomb site. Maybe somewhat of a headache when we talk about prior rounds. It was all A to start and has been B ever since then. But here we go. An opportunity for LAG to level up this series. After being 3 points away for a long time in the hard point, we'll now have to do it again here on offense, attacking over at B. But from the Ultra side, it will play heavy through mid and will funnel now in from Ticket. You got a 2-2 split. You instantly see player 7 in the insight going for the rotation. Meanwhile, Bance tosses the nade over his head, shuts down Apathy. So one of the entry SMGs taken down from LAG. In their offense, they have to find a pick. And you see Toronto kind of based off of the minimap. Spacing is great for them. Just trying to poke LAG in every sense they can. Not allow that objective to go down. Cleanx up close. Assault from the top side. Round 11 continues to get ever more intense, but LAG now with some map control decide to push forward. The trade now is inbound. The AR is left up, but Cheen finds a big one there on the Cleanx. And now a 2 versus 2. Cammy from one side, Insight from the other. And this could be the pick. Inside Assault, they both read each other. They get the information. Now maybe time for the plant. And Assault catches Cammy. Assault catches Cammy. Now it's all down to Insight, but Insight finds the player going for the plant. A 1v1. Manichin versus Insight. Insight goes for the play, and he's able to find him. A huge 1v1 coming through from the rookie as Ultra continue to be the clutch kings, winning the 3-point hardpoint game and now winning the search and destroy in a round 11.
Man, what a 1v2 out of Insight to close that out. It was a 2v3. I mean, it was a 4v3 right off the rip. Bance got that first blood, and he goes out and gets the second, and eventually it's immediately traded. I didn't like the positioning right there out of Cleanex to just give up his life outside of ticket booth, turns it into a 2v2. But I thought Cammy and Insight played that beautifully. With about 25-30 seconds remaining, they had to work towards that B bomb plant. Cammy, unfortunately, doesn't spot Assault on the step, so it turns into a 2v1. But just the bomb plant positioning out of Assault right there really costed him that round. Insight was just able to walk up to the ticket booth, shoot him out the window, get away with his life, and it eventually turns to a 1v1. He knows that Chino has to plant the bomb, gets the perfect timing on him, able to close out that round. And once again, LAG, they were almost able to close it out, but now they find themselves down 2-0 in this series. They could have been up 2-0, and now it's just all over the place, man. LAG, their backs against the wall. They need to try to fight back after all these chokes throughout these first two maps.
I say what, man, I see Assault sitting at 14-6. You just got to be somewhat frustrated after the result that they see, but we got to take a look back at that round 11, man. It's our U.S. Army tactical play, well-deserved. I thought it was going to be on the other side for LAG. I thought we were going to say they come away with the clutch.
Yeah.
Genie's able to win the 1v1, but no, it is on the other side. It is Insight. The man has been so good in search and destroy. As we'll get to watch this one back again, it's Bance with the early nade kill on the aBeZy. And from there, Study, walk me through it, buddy.
Yeah, so Bance gets that first blood with the nade, and they know, the LAG players, they know that Cleanex is going to be in this ticket booth area. So they're trying to work him, but eventually he's able to get out with his life. And once he's able to do that, now it's time for them to start working up towards that bomb plant. But once again, Bance, being the player that he is, he goes through that side steps, able to take down the second player as well. Eventually it just goes back and forth in the trades that eventually turns into a 2v2 situation. And then eventually Cammy drops, and now it's Insight left in a 1v2. But that bomb plant positioning out of Assault right there really costed him. Because if he's able to plant that bomb down on the backside of the bomb where Insight needs to overextend to try to locate that player, probably sets up Chino a lot easier for that kill. But like I said, we're going down to this round. Here comes Insight going through that middle alley. Cammy, he tries to time it perfectly, but he gets taken down by right here by Assault. So now with about 20 seconds remaining on this clock, that bomb going down in the middle is really difficult for LAG to try to close this out. Turns into a 1v1. Like I said, Chino has to plant this bomb. Runs directly into Insight because he read that play beautifully. And eventually they close that out, man. LAG, they just need to do a better positioning on that bomb plant because they were able to win that if they just get that bomb down in a 2v1 situation.
Oh boy, it's crazy, man. Like I said, you see the reaction there out of Toronto, just mind blown. They were able to come away with that, but a great breakdown. Yeah. A great breakdown in that round 11. Unfortunately for LAG, maybe experiencing a breakdown of their own. Just kidding, LAG. Absolutely love you guys. But hey, Control up next. Can Toronto walk away with a 3-0 sweep? Or can we see the Guerrillas answer back after what has been a frustrating start to the series?
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Use code CDL2021 for a special discount on GameFuel.com. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by Zenni, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting zenni.com/gaming.
This should be fun.
Let's go.
Welcome back, folks, to day 2 of the Paris home series. It has been a great start to day 2 for an Ultra taking on the LA Guerrillas. But if you are in the LA Guerrillas camp, you're a little bit frustrated, man. A little bit frustrated considering the way this one has gone up to this point. But this has kind of really been kind of the matchup we were looking at coming into the series. Studied Sheen versus Insight, how great Insight has been on the season. And then in Sheen, right, how great he was in his debut versus the Paris Legion. Not a whole lot of people were expecting the LAG to come out and really do a whole lot. They come through with the sweep. Granted, it's not been a great start for the LAG boys, but it is it's been an interesting start, right? Both players somewhat competitive. Insight with the 1 versus 2 to lock up that round 11. And again, man, we just can't talk enough. I know there's a lot of conversation about bans, there's a lot of conversation about Kleenex, about everybody on this team. But Insight, he has been their backbone. Those stats, man. What, 2nd overall, 2nd in hardpoint, 1st in search and destroy. He is a terror on the map, stud.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent from top to bottom. The only thing is that control 1.01, but before he was at a 0.8, so he's definitely improving on that. But like you said, man, he's just been that backbone for this team, and he's really been stepping up every single game, bringing that consistent AR work across the board for hardpoint, for search and destroy. The guy's just on point. And the opposite side, you saw those stats from Chino. They were basically the same. The only thing that was a little bit different was that S&D 0.78 to 1.0. If Chino gets that last kill, it's probably a little different there as well. But just a tremendous series that we have on our hands so far.
We have, man. It's a shame, right? Because I personally, I'll be honest, Yo Pick'ems, I saw the map videos and I was like, I'm going crazy today. I'm going with the Guerrillas. Chance beat me last week for the Talent Pick'ems championship for the crown. I was 2 points away, and I said, you know what, coming into this series, I'm gonna go for a curveball. And so far it's not been great. It's not been too good for me. But hey, like I said, LAG, you know, they've had a few good moments. We're at a 3-point hard point game. They were up 4-1 in search. Okay, it's control up next, man.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I think right now for LAG as well, if you're this team, you just got to be thinking, hey, you know what? Let's just try to get the bad vibes out of here. Let's try to change things up. We talked about this team, how great they could be in their communication. But folks, we are experiencing a quick little reset. So make sure to stay put, stay with us, as it will be control up right after this quick little break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I know we had a quick little break, but we should be getting back here into this raid control in just a few moments. But like we said, in case you are just joining us, you have no idea what I'm saying. Toronto up 2-0 right now versus LAG. It has been a thrilling series up to this point. But hey, man, when we talk about Toronto, we got to talk about what has been their road and what is still coming up for them. What they got: the victory versus 40 Mutineers, the 3-0 win versus Dallas just a few days ago, and one map away from another 3-0 sweep here versus LAG. And what, man, they still got a few difficult games to come to end out their group, stud.
Yeah, I'm looking at these matches that they have yet to play, and they have the potential to go 5-0. The only one that I feel like has the ability to try to take down the Ultra has to be the Røkkr, because obviously we know the Røkkr. Unfortunately, they have been on the downwards ever since that honeymoon stage to when Standy first came in, but they have the potential to go 5-0, man, and they're up 2-0 in this series. They get the job done easy with Florida. They get it easy with Empire. And this team is just riding on all standards right now. They're just feeling really good right now, and they have the potential to go 5-0. They're one map away from going 3-0. And like I said, man, that 7 win spree in control for Toronto is really scary for the Guerrillas. Even though they're going into their best control map, Toronto's just on a whole different level right now.
They are indeed, my friend. Now we'll go take a look at a different road right now for LAG. Correct, they do get the nice 3-0 versus the Paris Legion. We'll see what happens in regards to this series, but like I said, man, they got Dallas, they've got Røkkr, they've got Mutineers. A stacked next 3 series for these guys. And I tell you what, man, at times, like I said, this team, they're 3-1 in their last 4. Excited to kind of see maybe what this team can do moving forward. But hey, man, we cannot forget, right? We cannot forget the team that they're currently lining up against, the way that Ultra have looked. They've been excellent. Like I said, they've been excellent, and like we said, man, they've been clutch. And I know that, you know, we've kind of witnessed this kind of throughout a number of different years when you kind of have that top team. A majority of the time, they can kind of come down to those clutch moments, and it's impressive to see that Ultra are not just looking good in multiple series, but they're also clutching up in a big way as well.
Yeah, man, a 3-point hardpoint in the very first hardpoint, a 6-5 search and destroy. These guys have that ice in their veins, man. Now they're going into a raid control, like I said, which is going to be LAG's best map, 4-1 record on the year. But Toronto Ultra, 7-0 win spree on control, and they've done it on a variety of different control maps. So these guys are on fire. The fact that they were able to fight back in those first 2 maps, this map 3, I'm really going in favor of the Ultra right now. Hopefully LAG are able to wake up and bring this series back to life for me.
Absolutely, man. I know they're gonna have to wake up, and tell you what, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, but unfortunately, I hate to say it, folks, we are still experiencing some lobby issues, but we're gonna work everything out. You don't worry. Listen, you right there, you don't worry about it. We got everything under control. I promise you, raid control. It is coming up very soon. Stay with us as LAG Ultra. It only gets more intense from here, folks. Stay with us.
He has to stay alive. Can he falls? It's all on a Drazah. Can he hold the line? The answer is no.
Go, boys.
Holy f***ing we're good.
Oh my God,
man.
Go, boys. Green.
And it's another stack. It's another stack. Take a second point. His tick is done. We're almost finished. This could be it. You've got to go, Florida. They're going to get on the point. They nailed it.
Come on. One more. Let's go, baby. Oh my God. Guys, yo, I just yelled at you now.
8 versus 2. Make it all down to Clay. 9 kills in the entire game, and he needs to get 7. Dealt with, done, and dusted.
Last guy. Where's last guy? He's bottom wing.
Where?
Watch out on B. Nah.
Go. Good job, baby. Good job, bro.
Gotta get in the point. It's within 10 seconds. Toronto, they're putting in all the necessary kills.
I'm watching pillars. Watch medic. Nade it. I floated. Oh my God, boys. What are you talking about, baby?
3 to 10. The Thieves, can they do it here? Can they close this out? They're going to locate Clayster on the A Street. Last player is going to be Diamond Con, trying to do everything that he can, but the Thieves.
Yep. How much health here? People play dead. Nice. One more. Let's go. Plus P5. I'm at the. Let's go. Nice. Go. Oh my God.
That's it. There we go. They get all the kills. They flip it. They could win it here still. Yeah, you have to worry about the contest, but that allows them to flip, and the flip doesn't even matter.
I'm getting your balloon. Let's go, boy.
And he just cooks one right onto his teammate in accuracy. 5 in a row again for Cammy. The plays have been made. No game 5, no miracles, no heroics.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. So free, eh?
Oh my God, a flurry of trades, but of course, it's Kleenex and Bits. Everybody falls off the spawn. They go. Empire, they try to get in. iLLeY, they're all in front of you, but he cannot do it. Ultra behind the brakes. Get to a grand final.
Pillars. Let's push them. One shot on the left. Nice. One shot on the left. Come back, man. Come on. Go, man. We were fucking thrown in. We're still winning, man.
10 seconds for the win now. It's just it. Ultra holding it down. They've got 5 seconds for the win. Simp's going to contest. He's going to get cut to pieces. And what do you know? The greatest underdog going into the tournament. They take the best team in the league the whole way, and they get the job done.
Big kill. That's nice. I need your front, Jamie. Stay down, okay? You see what emergency? Yeah, emergency. One shot, back there. Stay down. Stay down. They got flood.
I mean, what, man? That was just a number of different amazing highlights out of the Ultra as of late, as those 4 sitting strong still toward the top of what has been, like I said, a very interesting series up to this point. But folks, like we talk about this, like I said, this upcoming Control ban, I know it's been heavily awaited. We're still waiting on the game officially to get decided, but we're going to be in here in just a few moments. But like I said, man, this series, again, if you're just joining us, has been all about Toronto up to this point. It has been all about these guys, their ability to clutch. It was a 3-point hardpoint victory. It was also a nice comeback in the search and destroy as well. And on topic with that, it's our Astro Social soundboard. This one coming in from Miles the Ross. He says, "Winsight, OMG, what a final play. I had lag taking that round 100%. Control is either going to be insanely close or a bad blowout." Stud, what are your thoughts on Miles' tweet there?
Miles' tweet, it's hilarious because Miles is the best in the business, without a doubt. But the fact that you thought that they were going to win that round, they planted the bomb in the wrong site, man. On the wrong side of the bomb, it just gave it to Insight to close that out. But let's just hop on these control rules update over time. Each round has 2 points, and each point has 3 segments. Teams with the most segments captured will defend in round number 5. If both teams have an equal amount of segments, tiebreaker goes to the team with the most kills. We all know how that works. If you're able to take those ticks or at least win an offensive round, you're going to put yourself in a great position to get towards that round number 5 defense if it does get pushed all the way to the very end. But even if it does come down to a tie, it's going to come down to those kills, man. You got to make sure you're slaying, especially in control, if you go down to that round number 5 to secure that defensive round.
We talk about it constantly, right? With the lag side, like they're 5 and 25 right now in those offensive control rounds.
Yeah.
So not looking too solid in that department. Again, like we said, as you discussed it, my friend, those ticks, right? Those segments are going to be ever important when we talk about this game. But like I said, man, I'm excited to see maybe what LAG can do. Like maybe there could be an opportunity for them to try and surprise us, but it's going to be kind of a long shot, right? Just based off the way that Ultra have looked. I think I have a stat that says that they're like 7-1 in their last 8 raid controls. I mean, what have you liked the most out of raid control recently out of the Ultra, my friend?
Well, overall, their record is 9-7, and the fact that they are 7-1 in their last 8 times playing that map shows that they've been really putting their work in to get better at that map, because they're solid at Checkmate, they're solid at Garrison, but not a lot of teams like to play those. Raid is usually the one that teams like to play, and they have just been putting in the work, getting a lot better at that map, and it's been showing, man. It's really difficult to beat these guys at that game mode. The way that they're able to take control of Kitchen, specifically between Bance and CleanX, they're just finessing. Bance is always behind you, killing players off spawn. It's just really difficult to keep track of all these players. They're being menace to society, man, and it's really difficult to stop them.
I like that. I like that. Menace to society. Nice call out, my friend. But like we said, man, that raid control, it's going to be a fun one. But like we said, folks, we are experiencing a few tech problems. We're figuring everything out, so don't you worry. You sit in your seat, you sit near your monitor, you get that popcorn ready, because I promise raid control is going to be up here in just a few moments. But while we wait, let's go ahead and take a look at last week's Scuff Team of the Week.
This is your Scuff Team of the Week, a super team built with 4 of the top performers at the most recent event. 3 players were selected by the league and 1 was selected by fan vote. Stick around to the end to find out who made the team. First up, it's Insight of Toronto Ultra. This guy's having one heck of a start to his rookie year. He only joined the Toronto roster at the beginning of Stage 2, but after a few weeks of seeing him play, it's probably safe to say that he's one of the top ARs in the game today. He's a consistent slayer across every game mode, and this event was no different. Insight's big performance of the week came in Toronto's match versus the Florida Mutineers, where he dropped an astounding 1.67 KD, a stat owed largely to his monster game on raid control. Across 5 rounds, Insight won a combined 38 and 18. It's not every day that we see a positive 20 game, let alone from a rookie who's only in his 2nd month of competition. Next up, it's Bance. Fresh off a hot major performance, Bance continued his 2021 glow up to the first week of Stage 3. His aggressive SMG play is often the key to Toronto's success, especially in the respawns. Bance had a strong week across the board, but if we were to highlight one moment of his weekend, it's gotta be the 5th round of raid control between Toronto Ultra and Dallas Empire. Things were looking bad for the Ultra after they got wiped off control point B by the Empire. All Dallas had to do to secure full map control was to kill Bance for the full team wipe. But somehow, someway, Bance managed to go on a solo tear, taking out all the players on the point, all while intercepting Empire's fresh players off respawn. His play bought his teammates enough time to retake the point and slam the door on the series with a clean 3-0. Our 3rd player is Envoy of OpTic Chicago. This young SMG phenom is often credited as the route man and playmaker of OpTic. It doesn't matter who you are or what map you're playing on, this guy is somehow always going to find a way behind your team to shoot 3 of you in the back and leave you wondering how he even found the opening in the first place. Envoy's playmaking was a huge factor in OpTic Chicago's 2-0 week, with the young prince racking up the 9th highest overall KD by week's end. And finally, selected by fan vote, it's Clayster, the leader of the New York Subliners. It was a big week for the Subliners. This was only their first week competing with their new player HyDra, and their very first match was against one of the fiercest teams in the league, the Atlanta FaZe. The series was a brutal battle that went all the way to a Game 5 Round 11, and it was the fresh Subliners roster that eventually emerged as the victors. Clayster's consistent AR presence was a huge factor in New York's victory. He had the 3rd highest hardpoint KD of the event, with his standout performance coming in Map 1 versus Atlanta FaZe, where he went 33 and 21 on Garrison hardpoint. That's your Scuff Team of the Week for Stage 3, Week 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Call of Duty League. Once again, we do apologize for a few issues that we are experiencing in the lobby. We're still working things out. We'll be giving you guys updates as soon as we can on when we'll be hopping into that game number 3. But again, Study, we cannot stress it enough, right? It's been such a great series. Maybe this could be an opportunity for LAG to kind of rebound a little bit, given the extra time now coming into this control. We talk about vets on this team, the communication that could exist within this roster, fully capable of what, man? Maybe coming away with a nice little regain coming into this game 3.
Definitely, man. After losing that first Harpoon by 3, losing that 6-5 Search and Destroy, a 20-minute break is exactly what these guys need to get their heads on straight to try to fight back into this series. Like we said, hopefully the game is up soon for you guys. We want to be in it as much as you guys do. But unfortunately, some technical difficulties not going in our favor. But soon, guys, we will get into that raid control, I promise. And it's going to be a good one because both these teams, like I said, they're great at the map. 4-1 on the side of LAG, 9-7 for Toronto. Even though Toronto, that 9-7 record doesn't really tell the true story. Overall, they're on a 7-win spree in control. Hopefully, they're able to keep that up here.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a fun one. We'll see exactly what LAG can do. But yeah, but like I get so many tweets constantly about, hey, can you guys just start the game? Like, can you just press the button, folks? It's not that easy. I promise you. Let's go and take a look now at our Astro Social soundboard. This one coming in from Sherpy. He said, if Inside God isn't the best rookie, I don't know who is at this point. Hashtag CDL 2021. Folks, make sure you're using the hashtags. He's got hashtag strength in the north. So ultra. He's doing everything the right way. But hey, man, we talk about our rookies right now. This is currently our top 5 right now in the CDL. At least in my opinion, Stud, based off the way that Toronto have looked, I think he's leading that Rookie of the Year conversation. Again, we're only in stage 3. What are your thoughts on him maybe leading that category right now?
Oh, he's 100% without a doubt, man. These guys already have a major win underneath their belt, and that's something that the next 4 players next to him have yet to do. And they're continuously being the top team that has to be taken down, and it's really difficult. These guys are on a 6-win spree in those series. You look at HyDra right next to him. HyDra's great at respawn, but his search and destroy is lacking. Standy, he started off hot when it came to Minnesota, but unfortunately they have hit that downcline. They got out that honeymoon stage. Hopefully they're able to bounce back there. And then London, getting that first win yesterday underneath their belt versus a team like New York. Paul X is a big part of that, so he's making his impact there. And then Neptune, he's going to be side by side now with Havoc, so his stats are going to go up and down across the board. Overall, the guy has been performing for his team. I'm just excited to see the development between him and Havoc on what they can do as that SMG duo over there at Florida.
Amen. That was a great breakdown of where kind of all the rookies sit at this moment. I know, at least as of right now, it's fair to say Insight leading that Rookie of the Year conversation. But one guy that I'm kind of interested in looking at potentially is Paco, right? HyDra, what he can do for that New York team. I know they do drop the series the other day, or rather yesterday. Versus the Ravens or so, something along those lines. But hey, man, like I'm excited to see what their potential could be. I know, like I said, Search Destroy currently is kind of a struggle for the moment, but there's a lot of people who could possibly contend for that top spot. But I know we take a look at Insight. He just doesn't get enough credit, man. What he's able to do around the map, like I said, that Search Destroy KD is like a 1.52. Obviously comes with a 1v2 clutch in that Search and Destroy. Like I said, what could have been potentially if LAG were to take that? Maybe how the groups could have changed if LAG were to be 2-0 up. But hey, folks, I want to take a look at our group standings for right now so far throughout stage 3. Again, Mack 2, so a lot of movement could be going down, especially in Group Alpha today. But so far, man, Toronto leading the way at 2-0. You also got Guerrillas there, right, at 1-0, maybe improving things a little bit. We'll see what happens with them throughout the rest of this. But if Ultra were able to come away with this win stud, it would make them perfect. They would be flawless, 9-0 in maps to start off stage 3. That would be that'd be crazy, man, especially considering the way that this series has gone. So many moments where they could have dropped the map. The streak, it lives on for the moment.
Yeah, it does, man. If Toronto gets this done, that pretty much would put them in that winner's bracket, starting off 3-0. Don't really want to take my word for that, but they'll be looking really good. 9-0 map count for the Ultra would be great, and then everybody else would be tied at 1-1. So Group A can get crazy, but Group B, from top to bottom, it's stacked, man. OpTic, who are still at 2-0, Thieves 2-1, New York and FaZe at 1-1. That one is kind of scary for me, man, because looking at that, I don't know which 3 teams are going to be able to walk out on top there.
Yeah, like what we had some crazy group results in stage 2. Maybe could possibly experience the same thing here in stage 3. Like we said, with how competitive things are, you just never really know where to put things at. But again, folks, we do apologize for the game 3 delay. We're still working things out. Try to make sure that this one is good for every single player, making sure that both sides are going to be in a nice and even match. But make sure to stay cool, stay with us as Game 3, Raid Control. It's coming up. I feel it in my bones, folks. Stay with us.
Hey guys.
Yeah, alright, my bad.
How are we feeling, guys?
Doing great.
Feeling fantastic.
I'm feeling fantastic, man.
Alright.
Come on.
You guys gotta join the game, bro.
I need an invite.
Can I get an invite?
Oh, game is starting.
Game is starting. Worst case, I believe it might be a match delay. If it's
Did I just say match delay? I'll start swinging, bro, mothers. And get this turned for no reason. Don't you worry, this is not wearing off until later on.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
Dude, it stinks like rotten eggs in my room, dude. Oh my god.
Bro, I just had a, what's it called? Yo, Sam.
Yes.
What does Casey call it? A premonition. I said a premonition. Either Dan or Preston's about to get a 6-piece in L. Gonna be on P3. I just had a flash.
You're telling me right now, if a team offered you a blank check, you wouldn't play COD?
Playing for less than a blank check for sure.
How much money we talking?
Blank
Like,
check? Blank check? You pick how much you get paid, baby.
Alright, boys.
Alright, boys.
Alright, boys.
Make sure phone in green, make sure rotate.
You have another hand warmer, though? It's not warm at all.
Yeah, mine isn't really either right now.
Oh,
That's what's up.
I'll bring it back.
Bring back what? I got a nice breakfast sandwich with some sweet potato hash and an iced tea. It was clean, man.
Put some devil sauce in it.
We're having issues on the coach machine, so that's the reason for the current delays.
On the what?
On the what? On the host's machine.
Oh, I thought you said coach.
Yes. No.
I was like coach machine.
And I definitely said robot coach.
Oh, my bad.
Literally, you'll be a 1v1 across the map. You're like, big one dude that win us the game. Like, yo, why you put that pressure on me, bro? Like, huge win. Oh, dude, good try.
Go, boys.
Go. Let's get it.
I didn't hear you, man. My leg's shaking.
Game is turning. Good luck.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Lovely. Jubbly.
Lovely.
I've seen enough.
So yeah, you can turn off Troy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I officially have my playing cards out. Ed, any threes? Any fours, my friend? Anything?
No, I got.
all right.
I think I got a king. I might have a king.
There you go. I like that. When we had
like high cards.
Yeah, we had Scump on the screen for a moment. Kind of worked out, possibly, maybe. I don't know. Folks, like we said, we're still experiencing some connectivity problems. So, got us to talk to. Hey, you guys got any questions? Feel free. Let me know in the comments below. Study. I know you get that reference. What tweets on point, man? Tell you what. But no, folks, like I said, experiencing some problems. We're gonna get everything ironed out, though. Don't you worry. Listen, you're enjoying the matches so far. We're just gonna continue to provide some wonderful entertainment. We're gonna break down what has been a great series up to this point with all kinds of stats on your screen. We got players to show you. Hey, what, man? It feels like that search and destroy feels like it was an hour ago. To be honest with you. And Cheen maybe trying to try and recap a little bit, right? So far, he's got a 1.04 KD, 26 and 25. He's been in the fray a decent amount so far. Again, Study, we can't talk about it enough, right? His performance in that opening series versus the Legion, it was everything for this team.
Yeah, man, 1.3, and then not only that, but on that control specifically, 8k damage on your debut. Well, for a debut for Mr. Money Cheen, he's been around the scene a really long time. He also has been one of my old teammates. I love this guy. He's just so easy to work with. He's that teammate that where you could look at him and just be like, what are you going to do? He's going to answer, I'll do whatever you need me to do. And that's just a great player that you can add to a roster, man. He's able to do it all. Obviously, you saw the stats not being the series that he wanted to, but this has been a close series from top to bottom. 3-point hardpoint, 1 round in S&D, and now we have yet to see the control, but that's going to come up soon. And on the opposite side, you have Assault, man, who's just been on fire, because ever since adding Chino to this roster in the series versus Paris, he had a 1.58, and then today he's starting off already with a 1.42. The guy is on point. I haven't seen Assault play like this since he has won that world championship, but I'm happy to see him back into that form.
Absolutely, man. A 1.42, despite, again, what has been a very close series up to this point. He's without a doubt the reason why these games have kind of been in their hands. It's just been a matter of not really being able to close these out, but a great performance from Assault really in back-to-back series. But we'll now go ahead and switch things up from LAG now over to the Toronto Ultra side. And what, man, so far it has been the Cammy show, currently sitting at a 1.32 KD through our first 2 maps. I mean, it was all Assault to kind of start off that apocalypse, but one guy that kind of led the fray, kind of started to lead in that slang, going on a few streaks. It was Cammy.
Yeah, Cammy was that player, especially on Apocalypse, who was holding down those back spawns from P5, from P3 to P5. He was the only player as well from the Ultra to stay alive the entire time. When they were trying to go towards that last P5 hill, he was able to pick up a couple kills, and the guy just makes plays when his team needs him to the most. Even in that Search and Destroy, when they were down a couple rounds, the guy ended up going on a 5-6 spree to close that one out. Eventually, he couldn't pick up streaks, but he's just been on point. He's been a nice 1-2 punch when it comes to him and Insight as that assault rifle duo.
Without a doubt, man. And how valuable has Cammy really been, right? Whenever he joined the Toronto franchise last season, a lot of people were excited to see what he can do. Has definitely kind of been that player for them from last season into this season. But we talked about this season, a lot of the focus, I guess you could say maybe at times, has been on Insight, right? He is the pickup. He's the guy that they decided to look toward, and boy, has it worked out great. We talk about his stats, kind of leading in that Rookie of the Year conversation without a doubt, sitting so far at a 1.13 KD. Well, I mean, a number of different influential plays that he had, played well in the hard point, but specifically, and it comes down to that search and destroy. We're talking about it constantly. We're going to revisit this one a lot for a multitude of different reasons, but we're thinking, hey, it's looking good for LAG. They have the 2 versus 1. They have to go for the plant, but it's Insight in the search and destroys. How great has he been, and what a great play to kind of add to the highlight clips I'm sure he has so far from this season.
He's just been that consistent 1.0 KD that you can always rely on to try to flip those spawns, always going to put himself in a power position to making sure that he's helping his teammates. And even though his stats right there, 1.13, That's exactly what the guy needs to do.
Yeah.
Cammy is the more aggressive assault rifle, so he's going to be in the engagements a lot more. So that's why you see his KD's a little better. But Insight, he's making those small little veteran plays that I like to refer to my man Clayster as the guy that always makes those plays, being the vet, making those huge plays that really change the game. And he's just being so consistent. Right there at the end, closes out that 2v1 in the search and destroy, and just makes his team in a better position to close out this series. Now they're up 2-0, like we said, and they are going into this control where it can go to any way now because 30 minutes now that LAG have been sitting back, just trying to relax, getting back to this series. It might be the break that they needed.
Could be, my friend. Like you said, 30 minutes. It's been quite a bit of time, but hey, like I said, this could be the opportunity for LAG maybe make something happen. Like you get some time to wait around a little bit. This could be their moment, folks. It could be. But hey, we're talking about plays. We're talking about playmakers. We got to go ahead and revisit some wonderful plays that we saw through Stage 3 with our top 5 plays of Stage 3, Week 1.
Gonna try to hop the bomb, but Scump's gonna be able to take down 1, take down 2, take down 3.
As they look to lock this one down, many angles to hold, but trenches, without a doubt, it's got to be the most preferred. DJ peeks out, he drops, constant fire coming in, but can Prestinni win it too? No. He does! That's 3 straight, including a punch to go along with it. In the Ravens camp with a quick rotation out of OpTic here on offense. Mid to B push. Envoy finding himself on the flank, makes Shani quick work, and there goes another. And how about 3 out of Envoy?
Ultra looking to win the game here. Trophy out for cover. Empire scrambling around. Can they get back? The artillery comes on in. FeLo tries to be the hero and soar through. iLLeY got out. iLLeY got 2. iLLeY got 2 kills, flying out.
This is going to be the last guy.
They stopped it. Oh my God. I thought they had won it there, but Benjamin Bance is still here.
Yeah, 10-9 lives. But iLLeY's on the point. Bance is on another. Well, this freeze from the. Okay, that makes sense. From the streaks, but they just get on it. They just get on it. They have all the control, and Toronto Ultra able to clutch up in that round 5.
Team effort, the consistency has been great. Venom again toward the outskirts, as that'll be 3. The quick triple coming through from Venom. Gunless is at least able to lighten the load a little bit, as he will find himself in a 1 versus 2, but the great play from Venom totally changes up the round.
The only thing is the bomb is going to be down, so Gunless has to work towards this left side. He's going to be able to spot Venom on the left, but and then shots come in from Kenny, but great shots onto Venom. Now turns it into a 1v1. He knows exactly the positioning out of Kenny. 20 seconds left. Gunless has to try to locate him at this bomb. Pretty sure he was able to spot him right there. Corner of his eyes. He's just going to play this outskirts. He's going to read it, and Gunless is going to walk away with the 1v2 clutch. Something like OpTic are going to try to full retake this from their side of the map. It's the only thing about this bomb. It's like when you trap yourself in this room and you give him complete bomb site control, it's really difficult to try to get it done. And Envoy's just going to try to hop the bomb, but Scump's going to be able to take down 1, take down 2, take down 3. For the King, that's going to be 3. Give him the hat trick. Trying to go for the 4th. He does as well. The ace for the King. He has to be roaring.
This has been an unbelievable week of Call of Duty.
This was just absolutely insane.
It just still has me mind blown, man.
One of the craziest sequences I've ever seen in my life.
It's Wednesday, and it's the start of the major. The LA Thieves have come to play. Oh boy! The Thieves absolutely decimate Paris.
There goes Scump, and it will be the Ultra taking down OpTic Chicago.
What are you talking about, baby?
Ace, a devastating 3-0. Lose this, you go home.
Thieves 3-0 New York and keep the Cinderella story alive.
A nail biter here in the map 4.
FaZe, yes!
Oh, baby, aBeZy.
It is FaZe with the victory. FaZe will move in to top 3. And for Ultra, you still have a chance to battle on. You're not out of it yet.
Fans is going to get the quick contest. They killed everyone! They killed all the Thieves! Toronto Ultra 3-0 in the series. For the Thieves, the honeymoon period is over.
Drop kick to the dome. Accuracy, though, they line up! They line up for accuracy, and he wins it! Are you kidding? Accuracy with the ice!
Oh my god!
The Giants, the Titans, Atlanta FaZe. Can anyone take down the final boss? It is do or die time.
Kleenex, the best player in the world. Ultra, they continue on.
Okay! Gosh! Ultra behind the brakes! Get to a grand final!
Atlanta FaZe, once they hit the go button, there is no stopping them. What happened? The greatest underdog going into the tournament. They take the best team in the league the whole way. They truly are Ultra as your Major 2 champions, Toronto Ultra.
Hi again, friends. It's us. It's Lando and Standy here. As we're alive. We're hanging out. We're here. Players are still afloat. Apathy may or may not have disappeared. Actually, might have gone for a nap. But wait, we're figuring everything out, folks. Don't worry. And actually, in the middle of that little commercial break, so we've had some, some time in the middle of this game 3 being delayed. I actually have noticed we got a decent amount of stuff actually underneath his desk. Well, we got all kinds of stuff. What the first thing I see here is a nice Astro headset. That's pretty cool. Nice A50s. Those are looking cool. What else we got in here? We got ourselves a Stuff controller. Look at that. Double pads on the back. Stuff impact. Look at that. Okay, that's cool. What else? What's underneath here? Ooh.
I think I got a little something too.
Oh, you do? What do you got?
I think I got a little something too. Yeah. I don't know. I got one of these. Got everyone. You all looked. Gotcha.
Oh, clever.
You all looked.
Clever.
Gotcha, guys.
I like that, man. We have our game fuel cans on the desk. We got a nice old game fuel can here of the original OpTic team. Nice. Oh. And then the last thing, this one's interesting. Good. This one's kind of weird, right? A picture of formal. Maven must have put this underneath here. I don't know. It's actually getting cut off by the green screen, but don't know what this is about, Maven. Questions, I'm sure, are coming on social media. Don't know why this is down here, but hey. Okay, I gotta wipe my hands off of that. That looked a little bit soggy. I have no idea what's going on. But hey, folks, like we said, we are experiencing some delays in the midst of this game. We are going to be getting into this one as soon as possible. I promise you. We're going to be getting into the game. You don't worry. But in the meantime, match records. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about where we currently sit right now in terms of these results. We talk about match records still, despite what has been kind of a little bit of a shaky moment for the Atlanta FaZe. They're still sitting strong right now at 15-3. But again, we talk about the competitiveness of this league. We've got so many teams who are ready and willing to try to move up as far as they can and try to commit some more upsets.
The whole first column of teams is basically, it's so close, man. One loss or one win for the Ultra can put them above the Subliners and above OpTic, because it all depends on these CDL points. Even though the records are not really the same, with 12-7 for OpTic, 12-8 for Dallas, the reason why Dallas are still in second is because they do have more CDL points, which we are going to bring up right here, presented by Game Fuel. Atlanta FaZe sitting at 235, Empire at 190, OpTic 160, but Ultra at 145. They're really starting to climb up this ladder to get towards the top side of the side with 145 points. They get this one, it puts them at 155, which will put them over New York, which will put them at 4th. So far, these teams are really close in that first column, but the bottom side, between Ravens, Surge, Legion, and Mutineers, those guys really need to start working in to try to get towards that top 8. Because once again, if you get that top 8, you will be able to play at that final tournament of the year. And if you're one of those bottom teams, man, in stage 3, especially the London Royal Ravens, who just got a win yesterday, you got to be feeling really good. Hopefully they're able to chain a couple more wins together to climb up those ladder boards.
I know, man, we got to take a quick little look at the CDL points, which you covered excellently, by the way, my friend. Absolutely exquisite.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
We talk about where our 12 teams sit right now. Like, what do you think is so far the most surprising? Like, when we took a quick look at those, like, we see where the teams kind of sit right now. When we kind of reference and take a look at, and we talk about like Ultra, like they're 5th right now in points, but overall, like in general, they're probably the best team in the league, like no question about it. But in terms of like where teams sit in the overall standings regarding those CDL points, what team surprised you the most so far up to this point?
I think it has to be Dallas for me, man. Like, even though Dallas is sitting in 2nd, they make that roster change to swap out Hook for Felony, and I feel like they're going to be on the downward. It might be the fall of the Dallas Empire. That's what I always say, but who knows, man. They might be able to prove me wrong. They got Crimsix, 36 most championships. The guy's the best in the world, man. It's best at what he does. But just the fact that they're still up there with the recent performance that they have had during those majors, they get to the finals of that Major 1. Major 2, they don't really push it all the way there, but they still get a top 4, so they're keeping themselves consistent in those points. And it's just scary for me, man, because obviously they got a new identity with new players, new roles and everything. And I feel like with the Dallas Empire, it's a whole new learning step for them. And hopefully they're able to keep up that consistent gameplay to keep themselves high in the standings.
Definitely, my man. Definitely. A lot of opportunities for improvements, but also at the same time, opportunities for a major decline for some of our teams. And we talk about, is it the fall of the Empire? Miles had that legendary tweet the other day talking about whether or not that could be the case. A lot of storylines going down right now, but none greater. We have to keep things in mind, keep things kind of in focus. There are a lot of storylines going down, but the reason is because of the money that we have coming each of our teams' way. We talk about the cash, we talk about what all of this means, because of course it is for glory, but it's also for the amount of money that is on the line, folks. We talk about our 2021 playoffs pricing structure. $2.5 million. I look at it on the graphic and I feel like it's not real, but it is. First place walking away with 1.2 milli. Oh my gosh, stud. That's insane. That bought me quite a few Astro headsets. I mean, quite a bit of scuffs, many cases of game fuel. But I tell you what, man, there's a lot that our teams are fighting for.
Definitely, man. I was just looking at that 7th ace slot, 25 grand. That's basically what I was playing for back in my prime when we were competing for championships. And the fact that they got 1.2 mil, 2.5 mil for the entire prize pool is just insane, man. These guys are playing for so much money. So much.
They are, man. They are fighting for all kinds of cash. Again, it's also not just about the money, but it's also for the glory as well. There's a lot of things on the line. But folks, I'm sorry. I regret to bring the news to you. We will be going to another commercial break. Positive is that we may be on the cusp of Game 3, Raid Control. I'm excited. We'll see you in just a few moments. Please, COD God.
It won't indeed. The shots land. It's going to be who can the kill feed. iLLeY there on the point. The final few moments, the kills go his way. There's not a whole lot you can do. There's 5 seconds for the win. And Dallas Empire, they will hold the line admirably. And they get it done on checkmate. The double dose of checkmate was just what the doctor orders. And there you go.
Oh,
Matt.
Good job.
Bro.
They're going to do just that, but it's only 10 more seconds for Mutineers to win this series. He's going to spawn up, streak him. It's 3 dead. It's 4 dead. Mutineers with a big one here over the Røkkr. They win it 3-1.
I almost trolled. It's my best. Pre-fired him. I'm not doing an interview, but neither.
Well, I can't, so.
Second bit of progress is done. Prestinni and Octane working together, but Envoy, the game field featured player, once again making plays. That's 3 in a row. 26 and 18 out of Envoy, and the W through as well.
Let's go, baby.
Able to get the bomb. He's now had eyes on both players.
That's a full flash.
They're going to
full.
score behind this. The flash hits. The flood is in. And Subliners, they get the win.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh my God! Let's go!
Paco, we're the best, baby. We're the best, Paco. We're the best.
Let's go!
Let's go, boy. Oh my God.
This is going to be the last guy.
They stopped it.
Oh my God. I thought they had won it there, but Benjamin Bance is still here.
Yeah, 10-9 lives. But iLLeY is on the point. Bance is on another. Well, the sprees from the. Okay, that makes sense. From the streaks, but they just get on it. They just get on it. They have all the control, and Toronto Ultra able to clutch up in that round 5.
I told you! I told you! Told you, man. That's clean as
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It is day 2 here at the Paris home series. And we're still here. We're hanging out. We're having a great time. Like we said, Study, we're hanging out in the virtual set. We've got a lot of opportunities. We've walked around the set a decent amount. I looked underneath the desk, found some questionable things, still wondering exactly where that picture of Formal has come from in the midst of us waiting on this illustrious Game 3 to start up. Again, it's raid control. I mean, I don't think I've ever wanted raid control more in my entire life. And there was a time where I literally got a streak of 8 search and destroys in a row on Moscow in league play. And I wanted raid control. It does not even amount to the level of how bad that I want raid control up to this point, my friend. But I have been told, we are not far away from the game starting up. They are doing tests. They are figuring things out. And I'm hyped for it, my friend. I'm hyped for it. We might be on the cusp, Study. Might be.
Let's hope, man. It's been an hour. You just told me it's been an hour since that game 2 has started. I've been losing my mind. But so far, we've just been keeping it together. Like you said, Lando, the game is hopefully going to start soon. Man, hopefully some raid control, man. I just want to be sitting in the middle of P5, you know, just taking my time, controller in the middle of the map, probably running around pillars, running around raid, getting control of Tiki. I just want to see all that, man. Hopefully we get to see it soon.
It sounds so wonderful. It really does. Just the talk of Tiki, the depiction of pillars, you covered it very well, my friend. But hey, let's go and take a look so far at today's results. Again, like we're talking about, Toronto currently is up 2-0. Again, like we said, the search and destroy just over an hour ago. But again, control. Who knows? Guerrillas, literally, they have no idea. They totally forgot that they're down 2-0. They're probably going to come into this control, not worrying whatsoever. But also, we do have our home team, Paris Legion, taking on the Minnesota Røkkr next, which I'm very excited about as well, my friend. I'm super excited to see what the Legion can do. But like we said, we also have to cover what is the rest of the Paris home series. It is only day 2, friends. Still have many more days to come. Of course, this is our schedule presented by the U.S. Army. A look at Saturday and Sunday. I mean, what, Study? From both of our days, match that sticks off the page most to you.
I'm looking at the Thieves OpTic game because Thieves just played Atlanta yesterday and they forced them all the way to a game 5. And we know the way that OpTic has started so far throughout this week. They're looking pretty good, sitting at 2-0. But the Thieves, they've only lost 2 series since this entire team has been formed. They've lost to Toronto Ultra, who won the entire major. And then they lost to Atlanta FaZe yesterday in a game 5, which was down to the wire on both maps. Every single map was really close. Just came down to some plays that just weren't being made in that final search and destroy that costed them there. But that Thieves OpTic series is the one I'm looking forward to the most.
I gotta say, man, I totally agree with that. One thing that I'm actually watching out for, rather just one team, I think I'm personally kind of looking at most for the Dallas Empire, right? Kind of their team where they're sitting at right now in regards to the CDL. I mean, they have been the talk of the town, right? They have been the talk of what, a number of different podcasts. We talk about The Flank, obviously a great show. They talk about it constantly, right? What is going on with the Dallas Empire? How are they going to improve? I know Clay recently was obviously on the show, talked about FeLo's impact, how great of a player that he is. But there's no doubt, man, that player in Hook being on the bench. I mean, I can only imagine how many teams are like kind of interested in him at this point. Like, what's going to go on with the Dallas Empire, but more specifically, what's going to go on with Hook, man?
Yeah, there's so many teams that's interested in that guy. Even the Brooklyn Nets are probably interested in picking him up, putting him on the bench. So who knows, man? But like you said, man, Hook leaving this team has really just changed everything about this roster for me, man. Because like I said, throughout stage 1, he was their MVP player. He was going out, he was getting all those kills. He was basically telling Shotzzy, you had it last year, I'm going to do it this year. And then stage 2 starts, and it was just all over the place. It wasn't as consistent from Hook, but he's still a great player. Just a raw, talented player that you definitely have to keep them on the roster. And then they make that switch. They add in Felony. And unfortunately, they go up against the Toronto Ultra, which is just a really difficult situation to get into, but they're trying to make the best of it.
They are, man. They're going to do their best to make the best of it. We'll see exactly what kind of goes down with the Dallas Empire. Excited to see what obviously could come of those boys, and maybe what could possibly go down with their kind of future matchups. But I've been told, folks, I've been given word, after 60 minutes, an hour after the Game 2 Search and Destroy, the Control is ready. Raid Control. I feel like we're casting the grand final. I feel like we're at Champs already study.
Yes.
Raid Control is getting ready to start. I'm looking at 7, 6. I'm making sure. 5, 4, 3. Or is it gonna go? 2, 1.
I think we're good.
We're loading in. We are loading in.
All right.
Players are hype. We're hype. I don't know what to do at this point. I forgot that we're casting Call of Duty. I thought we were just filling, but no, we're actually supposed to cast. It is our job after all. I see okay. I see players YYing in the lobby. Okay, we gotta refocus, man. I forgot. Okay, Ultra up 2-0. LAG in the need of a rebound. But again, like we said, they've got plenty of time to rebound. Their strategy, there's no doubt, no question about it. LAG, they've got to be feeling good. But here we go, my friend. We are in the game. We're in the game. Let's do this.
We're finally in it, man. Woo! This is probably a totally different series for the Guerrillas. They've had an hour break to get all their stuff back together, try to find themselves to fight back into this series. So we're going to hop on board nice and early with the Ultra. It's looking like they're going to try to get some early ticks onto this B point, then getting 2 kills right off the rip. They're going to be able to double stack it and work towards this B point, getting that first segment already. Is going to be the Ultra.
Yeah, a great start off the rep out of the Ultra. Again, we talk about it consistently. For LAG, how do they rebound? How do they come out of this break with the fire? They're going to need it in the opening, really first few seconds. Ultra grabbing that first take over at B. Now the focus instantly begins over at that A point. But aBeZy, Father App, is very interested. Many Suns indeed, but unfortunately he gets dropped. Assault does as well. So with that play, Toronto sitting now 2 strong toward the backside of that white van, taking players down in sprees, as now they're grabbing some great time over at that A point.
Yeah, they're trying to work on this A point to try to extend this time by a minute. And Cleanx is going to try to push out back launching, but he's going to lose that engagement to Silly. So now you see his teammates all spawn, trying to sprint over towards that B point. Vance is just going to take his time, trying to be the only player at this A site. Try to eliminate this player from this top ring area. But that flash is not going to indicate anyone being close. But Vance might find that opening. He's able to take down Assault, and now he's able to get on towards this A point to try to close this out and extend it by a minute. On the opposite side, you got Cleanx picking up a big 2-piece from Bedroom.
Yeah, you like what you've seen so far out of LAG, just holding down what they need to. Granted, that A point not looking all that likely to be defended, but that's not really their focus right at this point. We talk about it consistently on a map like Raid. It is not uncommon whatsoever to see that A point grab, but it is going to take some time, slowly but surely. Much like us getting into this game, it will be the A point captured. So now 1:30 on the clock. And how do LAG look to utilize the numbers, look to try to set up defensively? In the opening hit, we will see 3 strong toward the backside of Kitchen. Do shut down Sheen, and really with that play, you do have those 2 players sitting over at Mansion. And up close, HyDra Guerrillas look to lock this one down. They do get the close spawn toward Basketball Court, but there goes Sheen again, and aBeZy falls as well. Despite those 2 players hanging out strong inside of Mansion, they're going to have to break out and try to contest this. As Vance is finding kills left and right. That's 3 in a row. Finally does get shut down. In fact, 3 players fall at the same time for Toronto.
Yeah, Ultra, they tried to set up that pinch. They tried to focus on only the players at bedroom. But Silly, he was going big, able to get 2 kills to shut down that push. So now, once again, LAG do have control. They have a 3 live advantage. It's all about just trying to stay alive, trying to eliminate these players from your kitchen area. But 2 players are going to drop. So you see what Assault has to do. He just has to try to play his life. And this can get scary now because Ultra do have kitchen control. Cleanex and Vance pick it up 2. So going to be 2 players on this point. Insight able to take down 1. Chino is going to be the last line of defense. And that's going to be all 4 players down for LAG.
These start to get worrisome for LAG as long as Cammy's hanging out prone inside of the kitchen. Kitchen floors never looked so good. Just a few more seconds. Can anybody from the Guerrillas get there in time? And no. Ultra escape with the opening offense.
They do just such a great job at just getting kitchen control. Every single time we watch these guys play, they're sending multiple players towards that kitchen area because once they get that, they get those kills. They're going to spawn them out towards back laundry. So they officially get that job done. And it's just really hard to try to counter the Ultra because their playstyle is just so good on this map. Yeah. They have such tremendous teamwork. It's really difficult to stop them on their attacking rounds. And now we're going into an attacking round for LAG where they have really been struggling all year. Hopefully they're able to turn some heads on this round here.
I want to ask you, like, what do you think has been the problem with their offense? Like I said, they are 5-25 so far on the season, like a 16% win rate on offense. What has been the issue, and what do you hope to see change up now coming into this first offense here on Raid for them?
It definitely has to be just the slaying. They're not able to pick up the kills at the right time, and that's really just costing them to be able to close out some of these points. Because a lot of these points in control, once you get 4 dead, it's basically going to solidify a capture, and just they're only able to take down 2, and then eventually someone else gets a 2-piece. It's just not clean 4 dead for them to secure out these rounds. Just off the break, they're going to go 4 dead. Already, Ultra have yet to drop a life. Now, LAG, they have to try to fight out of the base. What point are they going to decide to go to? It's looking like they're going to try to commit towards this B point, but another 3 go down.
They do. They start to falter. Ultra. Okay, they do drop 1 player. 29-22. I thought for a moment it was a solid 9 kills in a row, but Ultra hanging out, standing strong, and really 50 seconds in, LAG finally need to get a break. But again, like we talked about, that life count could come to hurt them as time goes on. The flanks have been so influential to start. It was Cleanex early. And now it's Vance yet again. See if Vance can start to put in a few, start to cause some problems as he'll look to contest. aBeZy, though, from the front does clear out laundry, but to no avail. The flank is successful. LAG, that progress over at A, while it is solid, it is yet to equal out to anything. And with those cross spawns, because of that presence over in Art, it is now going to force LAG toward this water side. And as they drop 2, with 30 seconds left, Silly, he's just trying to make some mid-round calls. Do we try to go for this B point, or is it going to be the separation over at A? It's going to be the blitz. And as they head into A strong, 25 seconds on the clock, a much-needed round for LAG to secure, but it's Cleanex. It's Cammy. Cammy again. That's 3 straight in the feed. And Vance, he's getting the read. They're going to be over at Driveway as Cammy extends things to 5 in a row. 8 seconds left. Can Assault, can LAG have any prayer whatsoever? Waving the white flag as they begin to drop, hanging out in their spawn, because that's where they're going to lie as Ultra command the defense and grab their second.
And that one's going to hurt if you're LAG, because you almost get that A captured. You almost get that A point captured nice and early, but then you let Benjamin Vance go around the backside. Inside was able to take down 1, and that stalls time for Vance to hit that flank and eventually close down the 2 that were sitting on that point. So they don't extend that time by a minute. They just don't get any kills as well. That was a complete out-slay fest from the Ultra right there, just dominating on that defensive round. And now LAG, they're down 0-2 in the series. They need to be able to bounce back, especially with this defensive round win.
Yeah, what do you see, Silly? Your SMGs 5-13, aBeZy 6-13. And a great start. I know we see Silly rocking up that QBZ, but just in terms of the aggression, the 2 guys at the very least who are going to be in the fights more often than not, trying to lead the way. Unfortunately, not showing up, at least as of yet. Here we go. Ultra just continuing to light things up as Cleanex 20-8 on a 4 spree. Meanwhile, it is Cammy sitting on 8 in a row, adding insult to injury in what could be one of the most dominant controls we've seen up to this point. As that A point, no doubt about it, is going to be theirs. They're going to have quite a bit of time to work with today. Literally 10 seconds goes off the clock, and that is it. A solid start again out of the Ultra, and really, Can Cleanex keep this up? He drops. Cammy's streak, I think, might have extended to 10, but at the very least, they've got streaks to work with. They've got control, and they've got 2 minutes on the clock to do it.
Man, there's no way LAG just made us wait an hour for them to come in here and get destroyed the way that they have been, man. They need to have an answer, but the only thing is, here come the streak for the Ultra. So that's going to change the positioning from every single LAG player. 2 players are going to drop as well. They eliminate that player from Tiki, but they don't have the information where their last 2 players are. They're going to be able to take him out of money. aBeZy is going to be down as well, so that's going to be 4 down. All players spawning out towards back laundry. They have to try to take control of money. Unfortunately, Cleanex is going to drop by calling in that streak, and Cheen able to take down a second. So it might be the opening that LAG needs to fight back into this point. Yes, they do. They're able to take down the third on fans. Eventually, Sully with the 2 is going to shut down that push right now from the Ultra. But LAG able to just stay alive at the very ending moments here.
Surviving, hopefully thriving. Like we said, down by 5 kills at the moment. They do survive the streak, but can they survive the onslaught of kills that it just seems like just ultimately going to come at one point? But Vance, he gets found out toward the back of the base. Meanwhile, it's the front position the Ultra look to grab as Cammy, for a moment, was saved because of the nice shots coming through from Insight. And so what to lock things down, the artillery is going to come through from Cammy, so that will lock the players down. Mack in basketball. Salt, the only player here. He drops. It is all Ultra for the moment. And it looks as if this could be where the series comes to its heading. But Silly, able to drop 1. Can anybody get in the point in time? And it will be a 3-0, denying the inevitable. The hour break not benefiting LAG in any single way as the Ultra come through and slay their way to a 3-0 win. Now extending their map streak to 12 maps in a row, 7 series in a row, and perfect so far throughout stage 3, stud.
Toronto is just on a whole different level, man. LAG, they have that hour break right there, and unfortunately, they come in and play a 5-minute control. That's not what you were expecting out of LAG, especially on their best control map. They were 4-1 before that series started. And that game ended in 7 minutes and 54 seconds. That was really, really fast, man. And Ultra, they just get the job done. They're just so good at taking control of Kitchen, chaining all those kills together. It's really difficult for teams to try to bounce back, fight out of that back spawn towards Laundry, try to get on that B point, man. Ultra's teamwork is just on point.
Oh man, it's hard, right? If you are Guerrillas, because like you said, you're looking at that hour timeline or that hour kind of time. You're thinking, hey, maybe this could be our opportunity, but. Like I said, Toronto, they just shut down all of those things, man. They shut down absolutely everything. We saw the numerous streaks kind of come through from the team. Obviously, Cammy's most impactful in regards to those streaks kind of coming in. But Ultra, they just continue to thrive. We talked about the hard point. We talked about the search and destroy, how close those were. Control, a totally different story. As this team in control, this team on raid control specifically, it is unbelievably impressive. And there you see the stats on the screen. 7-match win streak and their 5th sweep of the season. Like you said, stud, Ultra on a totally different level right now, my friend.
Yeah, they are. And it's not like this series was just easy. Don't forget, that first hard point was 3 points. That second S&D was 6-5. The only one that was a blowout was that raid control. But LAG, they're going to be beating themselves over this series because they felt like they should have been able to close out that map 1. That round, that S&D, 2v1 situation to close it out. If Assault plants that bomb on the backside of bomb, it's probably a totally different series that we have in our hands. And then obviously the raid control just didn't go in their favor, man. Toronto is just too strong at control. That puts them on an 8-win spree in control alone. They're just the best team right now, man. It's hard to beat them.
They are. Hard to beat them. LAG, they tried, right? They had a few good moments. Maybe it could have been 0-2 coming into this control for Ultra. Like I said, they come away with the 3-0 sweep. We got to talk about, though, our scuff play of the game, as always, right? Probably the game that you most likely forgot, right? That hardpoint on Apocalypse. Who remembers that one? How great it was. Like we said, it was a solid lead for LAG. They had, what, just 3 points. 3 points to lock this one up, but Ultra, they do have P5 spawns. And Study, spoiler alert, they hold down every single second.
Yeah, man, and once again, this is where that Ultra teamwork just comes in handy because every single player right there is putting their lines out towards low trenches, and they're just all focusing on that point. Once they're able to eliminate those players, they know that LAG only have one more good push, so they're double stacking this point, but they're also watching all the cutoffs. That's why you see Cammy in his position that he is, just trying to play his life. Unfortunately, he's going to drop, so that sets up the pinch for LAG, but inside, he gets a kill right there. Cleanex is able to close it out with 2 of his very own to end out that map, and it was just a great hold right there out of the Ultra.
Oh man, it was like I said, a solid kind of series, I guess you could kind of say, from the teamwork aspect of the Ultra.
Yeah.
We at multiple times for LAG kind of pointed out, hey, this could be their opportunity. I mean, hey, I literally had them winning this in a game 5 in pickups. Boy, was I wrong. But hey, let's go and take a look now at Toronto Ultra. Their Stage 3 road to the major. Again, it has been a flawless start as they have got back-to-back 3-0 wins. Now with Røkkr on May 2nd, actually my birthday, by the way. That's going to be a great game to watch, the Battle of the North. And then on May 8th, right, they have Paris Legion face off against, we talked about at the start of the day, Study, a very good opportunity for Ultra to walk away with this group in a clean 5-0. We'll see if that map streak can remain perfect. It's not going to be easy, especially versus that Minnesota team. And who knows, maybe what we could see out of the Legion today. But on the other side, for Ultra, a little bit of a different story. Not as clean. Granted, they do get the nice 3-0 sweep versus the Legion, but a loss here versus the Ultra will set them back a bit. So 1-1 with 3 very difficult games coming up.
Yeah, man, Dallas Empire is going to be a tough matchup. Minnesota Røkkr, they're good at search and destroy, even though that they have been on the downwards, 1-5 in their last 6 search and destroy, so they can have the potential to take it there. And then Florida, they're really good at respawn, and I'm excited to see what progression that they have been able to make between Neptune and Havoc, working as that SMG duo, because we know what you're going to get out of Awakening. The guy's a different beast. He's just different. And then Skies, he's been Mr. Consistent for this team, so I'm really just excited to see the development that roster has put together so far.
Without a doubt, my man. Without a doubt. And I know it's been a long day, folks. If you take a look at our schedule presented by the U.S. Army, but it's not over, right? It's only halfway, well, maybe not halfway done, considering how long the first series was, but we still have Paris Legion to face off against the Minnesota Røkkr. Again, Paris, our home team. Excited to see what these boys can come out with. Again, 0-2 to start off Stage 3, but they are hungry for a W versus the Røkkr. But hey, we're also going to take a look at our schedule for the rest of our Paris home series. Again, Saturday and Sunday still to come. I know we kind of talked about a few games that we're excited about, but you can never go away from those game feel marquee matchups. So we got NYSL versus the Surge for tomorrow. And then to close out the Paris home series, the Thieves versus OpTic. Now we've had the chance to cast over LA a decent amount of times, obviously Guerrillas, but also the Thieves. And that team, they just look to be on a tear right now, my man.
Yeah, they definitely do. If I'm OpTic, I'm not playing anything checkmate. I'm not giving them anything. No checkmate hardpoint, no checkmate control. Might throw a checkmate S&D in there though, because the way Formal and Scump work that plane is it's like magic. It's literally beautiful. It's a beautiful sight to see. But just so far between those two series right there, the Thieves and OpTic, I'm really looking forward to that one once again.
Absolutely, my friend. It's that's set to be a good way to kind of close out what is a great week of action. Like I said, we're in week 2 of Stage 3. It's kind of crazy that we're already in Stage 3, already halfway nearly through week 2 here as well. It's crazy to think about, my friend. But like I said, guys, a lot of stuff to be excited about. And when we talk about excitement, it kind of defines what is our next series, man. Minnesota Røkkr versus the Paris Legion. Give me some early thoughts. I know we're going to be casting over this, but kind of give us a little bit of an intro slide to what is going to be a great final series of the day.
Well, I'm hoping that Paris are able to come in here and show me something, because the last 2 series, ever since picking up Temp, they have gotten destroyed in both of those series. 3-1 to Dallas Empire, and then their last series, they ended up getting 3-0. So this team just needs to come in and show that new life, show the practice, show the work that they've been putting in on the back end, and come out and play a good series.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, one thing that I was kind of surprised about, right, is the Røkkr's loss to to the Mutineers. Like, they lose both of those hard points, and we discuss constantly about that Florida team, right? The AR presence that team has, like when Awakening and Skies are firing, they're terrifying. Like they may be like one of the best teams in the league when those two guys are playing at their very best. And Minnesota, they just ran into that unbelievably stacked AR duo. And like I said, those hard points were kind of one to reference specifically. I know, like in that first hard point, I think it was like on Raid, and they played like a game 4 on Garrison. It was always 2 players from Minnesota just getting outslayed. And I know with that Standy pickup, like hardpoint has kind of been the thing for them. Search and Destroy kind of taking more of a back seat. But with those hardpoint losses, man, I don't really know where to put Minnesota. A lot of people, I know that at the top of the show we discussed, like maybe this could be a scary series for Minnesota if they were to drop this.
Yeah, man, especially because they have not been looking good in those respawns, man, especially hardpoint. They dropped, like you said, 2 of them to Florida. And then, like I said, they're 1-5 in their last 6 search and destroys. This is a team who really, that search and destroy game mode was their backbone, and recently they haven't really found some success in it. So going up against Paris, a team that's fairly new, this is where you really need to come out and show your dominance in that game mode.
Yeah, man. Excited. Hopefully we don't get necessarily a 3-0 in that particular series, but hey, man, this one, it lasted us quite a bit, but the result we all knew it was just a matter of time, right? It was just a matter of time before Toronto came away with the W as they walk away with the sweep, their third 3-0 sweep so far of Stage 3. Impressive stuff from the team, and I am to be graced by the presence of the one and only Tissue. It is myself and Kleenex joining each other with a nice little game fuel victory spotlight right after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The US Army, what's your warrior?
Boy, oh boy, what a slaughter that was. Cammy on a bit of a tear now. God dang, Ultra are looking fine. The battle for the North is already off to a great start.
Strong start from Toronto.
Rams wins another big one. Oh my word! Ultra close it out.
It is your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. I'm Lano, and joining me is Kleenex of the Toronto Ultra. And what, Toby? It was a long series, but a great series for you guys. It was like an hour and a half long, but you guys still come away with a 3-0 victory. Tell me, despite looking how great you guys have looked, considering the map spree, all of those things, what do you take away from a dominant victory like this?
Honestly, I'm taking away the fact that we are able to close out those close maps still. I feel like that was our biggest thing going into stage 2. Closing out our maps and just, you know, making sure the series is not getting out of hand or going to a last map or something like that. So I feel like that's the biggest thing taken away from the series.
Absolutely. And one kind of play in specific, when we talk about how close this one was at times, was that Search and Destroy, right? You guys are able to make the comeback. It goes down to around 11. It's Insight left in that 1 versus 2 situation over on Raid. Again, it feels like it was such a long time ago. But tell me, how great is it to be teaming with a player like Insight? Obviously, yourself coming into this team, you've had a breakout time. Same thing with Insight. How great is he, especially in those Search and Destroy moments?
I mean, he is just talented at every single game mode and just knows what to do in every single moment. So it's good to have him on the team and be back together with him. So been feeling pretty good with him. you know, I'm comfortable with him, played with him before, and we're just meshing really well, and chemistry is good. So.
Definitely, man. Well, the chemistry looks to be at an all-time high. Again, like we can talk about a number of different streaks, so your guys' control, your search, destroy, the maps, the series, everything. But it has been absolutely exquisite, my good friend. But tell me, how confident is the team right now in terms of maybe completing that 5-0, maybe even perfect map record in Stage 3? Is that a focus at all, or is it just strictly just play our game?
I mean, it's not really a focus of ours to go flawless. Of course, we want to win every single map, but we want to, you know, make sure that we just get every single series closed out. Not worrying too much about what the maps are or the outcomes are. You know, we just focus on our next match, and that's all we do. Focus on the next.
Love it, man. I love it. On to the next one. It's going to be fun. But Kleenex, thank you so much for joining me, and congrats to you and the team on the fantastic performance.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, folks, like we said, that is one series down, and we've got another great one to go. When we come back, it is your home team, your boys, the Paris Legion, taking on the Minnesota Røkkr in a series that is sure to knock your socks off. We'll be back in just a few moments.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
You see the spawns coming in for Røkkr. They're all the way in the back. They gotta go. They have to push through lights. They're gonna do just that, but it's only 10 more seconds for Mutineers to win this series. He's gonna spawn up, streak him. It's 3 dead. It's 4 dead. Mutineers with a big one here over the Røkkr. They win it 3-1.
I almost showed my best. Pre-fired him. I'm not doing an interview, but neither.
Well, I can't, so.
Yeah, you can. My cam actually doesn't work, like, whenever I switch my PC, so it's actually...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of the Paris home series. We're about to hop into our second series of the day, our final series of the day as well. This is going to be the Paris Legion taking on the Minnesota Røkkr. Study, like we said, my friend, it has been a great day, a long day, but an excellent one nonetheless. But we sit in the lovely studio. We're actually in Paris right now, in case you actually did not know. Be joking, but regardless, my friend, excited to see what Paris can do. A great series on our hands, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Paris can do, man. That's exactly what you said. In their last 2 series, they're 1-6 in map count. Ever since picking up temp, these guys have not really found their footing, but hopefully today, this is the answer versus Minnesota Røkkr. They're going to have to play a great series from top to bottom. Even if it does go all the way to a game 5 where it's not going to be their best map, they need to play better.
Definitely do. And on the other side as well, right, there can be some critiques thrown the way of the Minnesota Røkkr as well, right? We played just kind of coming into this series, their performance, their shocking loss to that Florida Mutineers team. Really, both of these groups looking to try and change things up. But hey, like we said,